The Duke of York is currently embroiled in a civil court case brought against him by one of Jeffrey Epstein TMS victims. Andrew has vehemently denied all of the accusations made against him, but they have seriously marred his reputation. Virginia Giuffre is currently launching a U.S. civil case against Prince Andrew. She has accused him of sexually abusing her 2 decades ago. Now, the Daily Express royal news editor, Richard Palmer, has claimed Andrew's trial date in New York could be next September to December. He tweeted, "So the judge hearing Virginia Giuffre TMS civil case against Prince Andrew has set a target of holding the trial between September and December next year." On Monday, the legal team for the Duke of York, 61, has filed a 36-page motion to dismiss the U.S. civil suit brought by Ms Giuffre in which she accuses the royal family member of sexual assault. The Duke TMS legal team, headed by Andrew Brettler, has urged a U.S. judge to dismiss her lawsuit, calling the claims baseless in an effort to achieve another payday. In court documents filed on Friday night, which was the court-imposed deadline for the prince to respond to Giuffre's suit, Andrew TMS lawyers have referred to the case as frivolous. They claim she has initiated this baseless lawsuit against Prince Andrew to achieve another payday at his expense. His legal team also claims that the 38-year-old has profited from her association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein for years. They allege she was willing to milk the publicity for all she could but had not kept her stories straight. The U.S. lawyers also refer to a story published in the New York Daily News, dating back to 2015, that claimed Ms Giuffre recruited young women into Epstein's sex trafficking ring. The piece referenced former friends of Andrew TMS accuser who had described her as a money-hungry sex kitten who enjoyed a lavish lifestyle. Friday TMS legal papers also allege that for over a decade, Ms Giuffre has profited from her allegations against Epstein and others by selling stories and photographs to the press and entering into secret agreements to resolve her claims against her alleged abusers, including Epstein and his ex-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. The motion went on to say, Epstein TMS abuse of Giuffre does not justify her public campaign against Prince Andrew. It added that she had a pattern of filing a series of lawsuits against numerous high-profile individuals would no longer be tolerated, as it continues to irreparably harm many innocent people. The documents for the case also claim that Ms Giuffre has created a media frenzy which has led to sensationalism and innuendo, to prevail over truth. Last month, the Metropolitan Police said it will be taking no further action into allegations said to have been committed in London in 2001. Scotland Yard said they conducted 2 reviews of recent material into claims. However, after these reviews, the police have now decided to drop their investigation. The Metropolitan Police said they would still be liaising with other law enforcement agencies that are still investigating Jeffrey Epstein. However, the Met has not given any details of who these agencies are. In a statement, Scotland Yard said, the Metropolitan Police Service continues to liaise with other law enforcement agencies who lead the investigation into matters related to Jeffrey Epstein. As a matter of procedure, MP's officers reviewed a document released in August 2021 as part of a U.S. civil action. This review has concluded, and we are taking no further action. We also reviewed information passed to us by a media organization in June 2021. This review is complete and no further action will be taken. Monday evening, Her Majesty, 95, appeared via video message at COP26 where she delivered a resounding speech to more than 120 world leaders, delegates and millions watching at home. The Queen spoke about how the impact of the environment on human progress was a cause close to the heart of my dear late husband, in a rare public display of emotion. The Sovereign TMS virtual appearance came after she was ordered to rest for at least 2 weeks by doctors after her recent hospital visit. During her speech, she made reference to both her late husband and also praised the environmentalism of both her son Prince Charles, 72, and her grandson Prince William, 39. In her address, the Queen recalled an academic gathering in 1969 in which Prince Philip warned how critical it was to address climate change. Royal biographer Robert Jobson, who penned a biography about the late Duke of Edinburgh, described the speech as wonderful, but suggested that the Duke may not have been the most comfortable with the display of affection. This is likely because traditionalists deem public displays of affection as a breach of royal protocol, while other royal watchers claim it shows the monarchy evolving with the times. Mr. Jobson told Female, "I thought it was a wonderful, deeply personal touch. A tribute to a man of vision, that Prince Philip was. He would have been embarrassed. But it shows how rightly proud she was of him." The Duke of Edinburgh died aged 99 in April, and at the time royal biographer Nigel Cawthorne claimed that Prince Philip himself would not countenance public displays of affection. However, since his death, members of the monarchy have shown an outpouring of grief which has signaled a shift in the royal family TM's approach to emotion. He told Female at the time, "It is significant that not only Charles but even the Queen appears to have broken this rule." He added that this could be abandoned completely as Charles takes upon a more prominent role within the firm, including the leading of a charm offensive at the UN TMS summit. He said, "The stiff upper lip is no longer, and under Charles' increased influence it is likely to be phased out as out of tune with the times. It comes amid Charles' trademark radical plans to slim down the monarchy, and change the way the institution is perceived by the public." The future king also broke the long-standing rule when he honored his late father in a speech shortly after his death, stating his dear papa was a very special person in a rare moment of affection. Appearing outside his Highgrove residence, he said, "As you can imagine, my family and I miss my father enormously. He was a much-loved and appreciated figure. My dear papa was a very special person who I think, above all else, would have been amazed by the reaction and the touching things that have been said about him." The speech delivered by Her Majesty at COP26 was also inherently more personal than previous addresses she has given, as she discussed her own personal investment in the impact of climate change. She referenced her late husband at the beginning of the address by saying, "The impact of the environment on human progress was a subject close to the heart of my dear late husband, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. I remember well that in 1969, he told an academic gathering, 'If the world pollution situation is not critical at the moment, it is as certain as anything can be, that the situation will become increasingly intolerable within a very short time. If we fail to cope with this challenge, all the other problems will pale into insignificance.'" Before she heaped praise onto both Charles and William for following in the footsteps of the late Duke. She said, "It is a source of great pride to me that the leading role my husband played in encouraging people to protect our fragile planet, lives on through the work of our eldest son Charles and his eldest son William. I could not be more proud of them. Indeed, I have drawn great comfort and inspiration from the relentless enthusiasm of people of all ages, especially the young, in calling for everyone to play their part." Meghan will take part in a conversation with co-CEO and president of Ariel Investments and vice chair of Starbucks Melody Hobson during an online summit. The Duchess of Sussex will participate in one panel included in the New York Times Deal Books two-day event taking place next week. The 30-minute-long panel, titled Minding the Gap, will take place on November 9 at 6 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. ET. The description of the event read, "How can women reach economic and professional parity?" Two groundbreaking figures join us to discuss top-down solutions, and reflect on how their shared experiences influenced their thinking about creating opportunities for others. Meghan is introduced as Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, co-founder, Archewell. The Duchess of Sussex attendance at this event has been hailed by many on Twitter, with one fan using the nickname Sussex Spartan Meghive writing, "Madam Duchess Meghan doing what she's always done. Working with orgs, to assist women's growth." Another, named D. Matilde, said, "Very beautiful and great people at the summit. The discussion will be great." However, another Twitter with the nickname Navajo Land, appeared to criticize the use of Meghan's title in this setting. They wrote, "Funny how she uses the Duchess title in America." The Duchess was quickly defended by other social media users, with one named Meta saying, it is her married name. The virtual New York Times Deal Books Summit will include major names in the political, business and celebrity world. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, General Motors Chair and CEO Mary Barra, and actor Matthew McConaughey are all to take part in panels during the two-day summit. Meghan has long been a supporter of women's rights, and started making her voice heard when she was only 11. At the time, she penned a letter to a number of influential women including Hillary Clinton to denounce an advert by Procter & Gamble she deemed sexist. Over the years, she became an advocate for UN Women among other organizations and spoke widely about gender equality and period poverty. She continued her work focused on women's rights even as a working member of the royal family. In October 2019, she took part with Prince Harry in a roundtable conversation with youth ambassadors from One Young World, a non-profit organization that champions young leaders. Then, she spoke about the importance of men taking a stand next to women for gender equality. She said, "What you TM all capable of doing independently is incredible, but then when you work collectively, our intention today is to try to create somewhat of a task force to see what we can do within our communities and then use that knowledge to apply it to whatever is happening in all these other communities." In terms of gender equality, which is something I have championed for a long time, I think that conversation can TMT happen without men being a part of it. More to follow.